Is that better, internet slash YouTube? Is that better? Does that make you happy? I don't know. I don't even know if it's streaming right now. Is it good? No. Oh my god. Why is my internet so bad? Hold on, let me see how bad this is. How bad is this? If I go to this on my phone, how bad is this? Okay, I think we're fine. Hopefully we're fine. We might be able to make do. I don't know. Very frustrating. How is the lag or whatever, Maz? It's hard to look on my phone while also streaming. I've been having a lot of issues with my internet the last like 2 days, so let me know how it is. I can tell it's not great because I can see the packet loss on the bottom of the screen is not great. And I've already turned my settings all the way down, so let me know how it is for you guys. But I'm not thrilled with my internet at the moment, but so hopefully it'll fix itself. Let me try and do one more little fix while we get going. But hi guys, how are you? What else could I do here? Let's turn it. I can't turn it down. I'd have to restart the stream. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to go with it. But hi Maz, how are you? Hi Ghost. Hi Haley. Also Team Black, of course. Hi Andrew, how are you? But yeah, let me know if it gets really bad at any point, guys, in the chat, and we might have to just end stream. But the House of the Dragon Season 2 trailers have released, and I'm really happy to say that they did some good marketing. I will say, like, one thing I think they did really well is very similar to Iron Man and Captain America with Civil War when it came out. You know, you basically have it to where fandoms get really attached to a certain side. That's what you want them to do. You want them to get emotionally attached. You want them to go into the media and looking at all of the things that are happening. And so I think, you know, it was a very easy slam dunk, but at least they went through with it. They got it done. I think they've done really well in the promoting. And so I want to give them a lot of credit. I think they did pretty well on both trailers. It didn't do enough to where it was like, oh yeah, it reveals all the big spoilers, but it did enough to where, like, if you're a viewer and you know what's going on, like a lot of the people in the chat will be, or people watching this, you will know what's going to happen, right? You can tell what these scenes are referencing. And so we had some like blood and cheese stuff. We had some Rook's Rest stuff, or at least kind of showing us what is to come. So we had a lot of that stuff, which is good. One thing I'm not gonna say I disliked, because I don't know where they're going with the season yet, but I will say I was expecting them to come out with the Team Black stuff a little bit more, I don't know, aggressive, like, because you got to remember, coming off of the end of last season is Luke's death, right? And so the last shot is a zoom in of kind of Rhaenyra's face as she's heartbroken and angry and all that. And so in Fire and Blood, this is a point in which there's a lot going down, right? Rhaenyra is having to deal with the trauma and loss of losing a child. Well, actually, she loses 2 children, like, very quickly, given she has a struggle and a miscarriage. And so she's very broken at this stage. And that's also, you have her father dying as well. So there's a lot of death for Rhaenyra. And so Rhaenyra becomes even more of a darker character in Fire and Blood. And so I was really surprised in the marketing that they didn't lean into that. Now, I don't know if they're taking a much slower approach to the character of Rhaenyra. Maybe they're, I don't know, I wouldn't say they're scared, because again, we don't know what season 2's in it yet. We don't know if they just didn't show us a lot of that in the trailer or what. But I was expecting us to see more of Rhaenyra having some sort of vengeance, right? This being the point of no return in the Dance of Dragons. I was a little surprised by that. But yeah, Maz, like, I'm surprised it didn't bring up revenge for Lucerys at all. Like, it was not really a plot point at all in the 2 trailers, which I found was quite interesting. They didn't bring up, like, the fallout with the Green Camp and kind of how they're going to deal with that. They didn't really talk about it with the blacks at all. I found that very fascinating. I felt like that would have been something you easily could have just looked at and gone, oh yeah, Aemon, that was a stupid thing to do. And having Allison's kind of famous line and stuff, Allison and Otto's I can't speak, Otto's lines in reaction to that, or in the black side of it, having, you know, Rhaenyra says, you know, or breaking down or whatnot. I mean, having us give us some reaction to the end of season 1, but you know, we got other stuff which was good as well. I like that, again, the green side of it, it was a lot of like kind of propaganda. It's them trying to justify to themselves, why are we doing this war, right? Or why do we think Aegon should be on the throne? And so all that's pretty good. The blacks, again, just for kind of preparing for war, kind of seeing some of the things that are going to come to fruition. I wish we would have seen a little bit more Rhaenys and Corlys, but I think that's just a thing I enjoy because they're two very important characters, and seeing more of them is good, especially for this season. Aegon has some pretty badass lines in the trailer. Hopefully we'll see some more book quotes. Yes, of course. Oh man, I'm a little all over the place right now because I stayed up till about 2 a.m. last night trying to fix my internet, because the internet is like, it's in a weird spot where it's like, if I do internet tests, it's great, right? I think the problem with my internet is it's not consistent, where it's like, it's just going like up and down, up and down. And so when I play video games, I get lag. I hadn't streamed before, but I was assuming stream would be fine. It's not. It's still experiencing quite a bit of lag and stuff, even though I have it on very low settings right now. So, I don't know. Hopefully less fucking characters staring at each other awkwardly and crying this season. I would assume we're going to see less of that, right? I feel like that phase is kind of over, right? Where the talking stage of the war is kind of over. Most of the season, yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that's after Blood and Cheese. That's after episode 1, after episode 2. It seems like they're focusing a lot, I think, on some of the stuff towards the end of the season, some of the stuff towards the middle of the season. I think it's very interesting. And one thing that I think this season's going to have to overcome is, because it's 8 episodes, you know, you do have a lot you need to kind of accomplish. Given where I think most people think the season's going to end, and I'm like 95% sure I know where the season's going to end, at Rook's Rest, there is some stuff in there that, you know, you do got to develop. You got to develop how Otto Hightower and the Greens are going to be going about doing war, how there's kind of that split where you have Otto Hightower, who's more like a Tywin-esque type character, who's trying to gain alliances and things like that. He's trying to set up future events, which will come to fruition in the next season, in season 3. You've got, you know, Aemond, and you have Kristen Cole, who are more of your stereotypical, like, warriors, generals who are trying to be more aggressive, but that doesn't really start happening at the beginning of the war for the Greens. You got a lot of that can be really developed really well. You can also develop, which they really focused a lot on, was Alicent's reaction to this war starting, right? And what I find interesting is, given all of the events that we know are going to happen, they didn't do that, given, like, there's just some murders that happen in this show that are not great. But again, you know, they just, you know, they didn't really show us the cards, I guess. They kind of showed us some more surface level stuff, which is, no, not bad at all. They showed us, again, Alicent kind of contemplating what happened in the first season, right? Showing us that, oh, by the way, packet loss is getting worse. That's good. Showing us what she thought about and why Aegon needed to be king. So, you know, I think there's some good stuff there. Hi, Ashley. Sorry for the stream just not being great. I know it's not great quality right now, and there's just almost nothing I can do about it, which is really unfortunate. But it is what it is. Hopefully it'll figure itself out, but I don't know. It's been like this for about 3 days, so yeah, so we saw a lot about that. So I think, what should we be able to expect from season 2? I think season 2, it's going to take its time. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think season 2 is going to take its time by expanding the world and accurately preparing us for the things to come. That's not to say it's going to be season 1, where it's, you know, a lot of talking, it's a lot of sitting around, not doing too much and preparing for things. There is going to be a lot of that still, because this is a political show. It is still a Song of Ice and Fire show. It's going to have a lot of that, you know, sitting around the table, stuff like that. But you're going to see more big twists, things that were built up from season 1 in this show. You're going to see a lot of the common people being caught in the crossfire. Right? Who have this idea where if you're a house, right, especially if you're in the Crownlands, right, if you're in the Crownlands and you're a house, what side do you pick? You're very close to both Dragonstone and to King's Landing. And it's going to become a situation in which if Vhagar shows up at your doorstep, you're probably bending the knee. Regardless of what you think about Aegon, regardless of what you think about Rhaenyra, it's about self-preservation. Oh my god, dude, we're at 30% packet loss. Oh god. Oh god, I need a drink of water just looking at... I'm very frustrated right now. You guys can probably tell by the way I'm talking, but I am just very frustrated at the moment. It's been a very frustrating time, but yeah. I still have an ABB out for Sir Harold Westerling. Yes, that is true. That is true. Okay, let me check. I gotta check this on my phone. This cannot be good for you guys. It's 30% packet loss. I'm not even sure if it's worth continuing the stream because I don't know how bad it is. Oh yeah, it's terrible. It like goes in and out, in and out. Okay. I don't know, man. Like this is my thing, is like I get very annoyed when things don't work right, and I can just tell by looking at it on my phone. It's just it's very annoying to watch. But I can only handle what I can handle. And yeah. So House of the Dragon Season 2 should be good. I have a little bit of it's not really, I can't really announce it yet because it's something that is going to be announced with, I don't know how much I can say, but there's something I will be doing for House of the Dragon that hopefully you guys will enjoy. We're going to be doing it differently than the way I covered Season 1, where Season 1, I'm still going to do those streams where, I'm just covering, going scene by scene, things I liked, things I didn't like, all of that about the show. And so we're going to do that, but I'm also going to be doing something else. I'm going to have hopefully a lot more free time going into House of the Dragon Season 2, given my work situation and what's going to be going on there, as I will be hopefully internshipping in the summer. I've applied to my first one, and so that's not going to be as strenuous as, working like a job and stuff like that. And also, I won't have to work when the episodes drop, so I'll be able to put out content, quicker and stuff. So I do have a little bit of surprise for you guys when we get to that point, when it comes out, but I'm excited for that. But here's what I want to know. What trailer did you guys like better? The Team Black trailer or the Team Green trailer? Not to say, like, which side do you support, but which side do you thought was better done, I guess? What one did you enjoy more? I mean, for me personally, I thought they were both really done well. I will say, I think the Green trailer was good. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think the Team Black trailer was better, but that's a lot of biased. But I do think the Green one was good. Another thing, we got to see a lot of the dragons, so that was cool. They all looked pretty good. Dreamfire specifically looked very interesting, given that she looked kind of a lot like Daenerys' dragons, which makes sense, given that basically Dreamfire is their mother. But that was pretty cool. Yeah, Sunfire is a big reason as to why I think the Green trailer was good. I really wish we would have seen Sunfire in the first season, but whatever. Yeah, I think that's one thing that the Green trailer did do better. It sets up the war much better, in my opinion, but it also teased Aemond versus Daemon. Now, again, we're not really going to see much. We're not going to see much of that in this season, more than likely, given that this is going to be taking up really all the way the preparation up to the first battle of the war. Now, there's some other things, the conflicts that do happen, but it's like the first actual battle is happening in this second season. And so, Rhaenys looked beautiful and dignified as she always does. Yes, I hope we get to see more of her in this season. We should. I'm just saying, we should. Given where this season's going, We should. Hey, Grease just joined the stream. Looks like no Daron or Nettles. Yeah, I was really disappointed that we're not getting Daron. I think that's a missed opportunity. I don't know if we're not getting him at all. I don't have any confirmation on that, but yeah. And I won't talk on the Nettles thing too much. I do have some information onto that plot line that I can't really talk about because I could get sued. But, you know, yeah, I think there's going to be some interesting things happening around those two characters that will be interesting. But I will say, Daron, again, I want to go back to Daron. Daron not being in Season 2 is a crime against humanity. He is by far the most interesting of the Greens. You know, whatever. No more of that awful haircut for Rainey's. Oh, boy. What's good? Amazing video. Thank you, Joshua. I am doing okay. I really wish that my internet would stop being garbage. That will be wonderful. But, you know, gonna finish up this stream. Not gonna be a long stream today, but just wanted to talk to you guys about what we saw in the season 2 trailer. And gonna do some more work. I gotta get done a video for Sunday, which will be the Daenerys Winds of Winter video. And then I got everything else for this video, or this week, done. Gotta do some second channel stuff, and then, yeah. I'm just glad we didn't have to see Larys stroking his thigh. Oh, God. We did see a Clubfoot and Allison scene, so we might be getting more feet stuff. So. They may be pushing Daron to Season 3, but yeah, they should have been. Yeah, I just think, like, it's such a wasted opportunity to introduce Daron in Season 3. Like, and it's not to say, like, they can't do it right. They can. Like, you know, we've seen characters that are really impactful in only one season that they're in. Oberyn comes to mind. But it just feels like Daron is a character which would give us more of a POV into Old Town, into the Reach plot line, and for him to get pushed all the way into, like, Season 3 kind of sucks, in my opinion, but you should do an episode by episode prediction breakdown of what you think will happen in each Season 2 episode. I could definitely try to do that. Again, I think it's going to really look at how much are people interested in watching House of the Dragon, like, reviews or prediction content. That's going to depend how much House of the Dragon content I do. Because, for instance, when I did it for the first season, now granted, I was a much smaller channel. I had just hit, like, I think 1,000 subs or something like that. Like, House of the Dragon Season 1 really took my streaming to the next level. Like, my most successful streams were during the first season of House of the Dragon. So again, you know, it's hard to gauge what it's going to be like interest on this channel for House of the Dragon content. Like, whenever I do House of the Dragon videos on this channel, you know, in between Season 1 and Season 2, they usually haven't done that great in comparison to just normal videos. So, you know, I don't know. But also, I will say, I want to take a thank you to everyone that's been supporting the channel lately. The last, like, 2 or 3 weeks has been really, really good for the channel. I'm not sure if that's because I posted a George R.R. Martin Winds of Winter video, and so YouTube algorithms, like, send it to everyone now, and so that kind of helped, or what, I don't know. But here's how I can look at it. When the YouTube chapter videos, or not the YouTube, the Song of Ice and Fire chapter analysis videos are doing pretty solid, like, that's when I'm like, okay, you know, that's pretty good. But have they even mentioned him? If people haven't read the book, they would have no idea. Exactly, right? So that's my thing, is, like, he hasn't been named, right, in any of the trailers or here in Season 1. So if you don't, like, know the character, you don't know he exists. And so I think that's just, you know, it's whatever. I would be interested, but yeah, those huge news and media channels will probably dominate the hot DC. Yeah, that's the thing, is it's like, it's such a harder thing to do when you're a smaller channel. Like, a lot of that stuff is good in theory, but it's like, if you are a smaller channel, right, like, how much of that are you going to get when you're going to be seeing, you know, hundreds of videos probably every single episode that comes out on just, like, a review? And that's why when Season 1 came out, I was doing my reviews were just streams, because it was just a better way of doing it, where, okay, I would have a live stream every week instead of putting a bunch of effort into editing a video, you know, making a thumbnail, all these things, where it probably was not going to do as well as just doing it on a live stream. So again, yeah, it's a lot to think about, and it's enjoyable to kind of talk about and all that, but you know. But I do think it's a mistake to push him dare on to season 3. I think that's a big I don't know if it's a big mistake, but it's something that I definitely think could be not as great. I hope House of the Dragon isn't going the direction of the abomination that shall not be spoken of and treating Daeron like Arianne and Victarion. Hopefully. That would be a shame. I mean, yeah, that would be a shame. If that's the case, that would be horrible. Like, it would be like, to me, it'd be if Daeron wasn't in House of the Dragon, it would basically be like, it would be the equivalent of Young Griff not being in Game of Thrones. Because it's like Young Griff is such an important and pivotal part of where the story was going in the book. To not have him just feels like, okay, why did we do that? That seems so weird. I don't know. I will say, though, I think it is probably a good idea that they're pushing, you know, a lot of our major battles into the next season. I think because of how how much time is going to be taken to make those really good episodes like the Battle of the Gullet and things like that. I do think like separating Rook's Rest and that is going to make those episodes probably better. So hopefully that should work themselves out. I don't think House of Dragon will get that bad, but I do think the producers will take more liberties in season 2 with the source material than they did with season 1. I agree. Hopefully that is the case. You know, I think the one thing season 1 struggled with was, I think in season 1, they were scared of how do we keep the audience entertained for long enough, right? Can we afford to have all these, you know, episodes where it's just a lot of people talking? That's a lot of building the tension and all that. And I think they learned to season 1 that people were still enamored by like the old Game of Thrones style, right? Where there wasn't a lot of battles. There wasn't a lot of these things. There was just people, and they're very interesting people interacting with each other and fighting for power or whatever, right? So yeah, also thank you Dream Retro for subscribing to the channel. I don't know if that tells me because it's just while I'm live streaming or what, but thank you. We don't speak of Rook's Rest. Yeah, Rook's Rest is going to be a rough episode for Ashley. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be a very rough episode. But yeah, Battle of the Gullet is most definitely into season 3. I can't confirm that, but from sources I've heard and people in the community, I'm pretty sure it's in season 3. Which is also interesting. Because given, like, when does the Battle of the Gullet happen in Season 3 is going to be another interesting part. Like, does it happen about midway through? I don't know. Battle of God's Eye? I don't know. That's a great point. Probably going to get pushed back. That would be my idea. I don't know. But, yeah. So, some interesting stuff going in House of the Dragon Season 2. I'd be very interested. Like, still some things I got to figure out, right? Season's coming in June, and I got to figure out, okay, or am I going to be doing a review of it through a video, which I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to be doing a live stream like I did with this first season, but I'll also be doing something else that will kind of, I'll talk to you guys about later on when we get closer to it and when things get ironed out on how I'm going to do it. But we'll be doing that. We'll probably have one video probably a week might be on just like a discussion onto a certain part of House of the Dragon, like not as in there are a review of the episode, but like maybe there's a certain thing in the episode that I find is an interesting thing to talk about, right? Like blood and cheese, right? Like maybe that's something where I like just make an individual video on and just talk about that, but not the actual episode itself. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. The Advocate. I think that's a good idea. But yeah. So I'm going to call it there. Sorry for the not so great quality. Hopefully it gets figured out soon. And I hope you guys all have a great day. Excited for House of the Dragon Season 2. And give Voice of Old Town some shit because he's a Green supporter.